Hey, what's up everybody? How's it going? I know it's been a bit since my last video, a month specifically, and I do want to apologize to you guys for that. But I have a reason, which I will get into near the end of this video. But I just want to get this video started because I kept you guys waiting long enough. So yeah, welcome to another Hyper Talks episode. Now, for those of you who don't know what Hyper Talks is, it's basically a series where I talk about a whole bunch of stuff that I find interesting, mostly in games and such, but today I'm going to be trying out something new. This is something a friend recommended me I do, and talk about a movie. And what other movie to talk about than the recently released Super Mario Bros. Movie that came out last year. In fact, by the time of this video, it should almost be a year old now, next month, which is crazy. But yeah, I thought, why not? Let's talk about this movie because I do have some thoughts about it, both good and bad. And it's just like this is a series where I can talk about mostly anything I want to. So yeah, it doesn't have to be video games. So well, why not? Let's try it. So this is gonna be my first time talking about a movie. So I'm not a big movie critic guy, but so I'm just going to give the best thoughts I can about this movie, like tell you guys how I truly feel about it, and try to give a little bit of criticism for the movie too, to like what I think they can improve with this movie in the future, because this movie definitely needs some improvements, but we'll get there. But for the most part, this is a really fun movie, and I think it would be fun to talk about it since it's almost going to be a year old now, at least by the time of this video. Oh, and also, guys, I'm going to spoil the movie because I'm going to talk about the whole thing. So if you haven't seen this movie for whatever reason and you want to go in blind, then don't watch this video. I appreciate you stopping by, but don't watch it if you want to go in spoiler free. And I'm also not going to be showing all specific clips from the movie. I'm only going to be repeatedly showing off what the trailer showed about the movie, because I'm not sure how copyright works with movies and everything. So I'm not sure what's good to show and what's not good to show. So I'm just gonna play it safe. Just play the trailers, when I'm editing this. So yeah, guys, I hope you all are looking forward to this video as I am. So without further ado, guys, let's talk the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So, I'm going to kick things off by starting up with the story first, and to no one's surprise, there's really not much to this movie. I mean, I say to no one's surprise because, for a long time, Mario hasn't been really known for deep and stories with a lot of depth, unless you count like the RPGs, but I don't think most of them are too deep. But for this movie, it's no exception. Like this is a pretty simple Mario story, straightforward. And it's just like how it starts is with Bowser invading the Snow Kingdom, and he finds a power star that he's been looking for a long time, and the Mario Brothers start up their new plumbing business, but it doesn't work out well for them. So Mario wants to prove himself to everybody, so he tries to help out the city that has been flooded by going underground, with him bringing Luigi to help fix the city's plumbing. But as they try to fix the plumbing, they suddenly go into this mysterious area that also has a very iconic looking green pipe in there. They both get sucked into the pipe, and they get separated. Luigi goes into the Dark Lands and Mario goes into the Mushroom Kingdom. And in the Mushroom Kingdom, Mario meets up with Toad, who's not at all surprised to see Mario there. I say it's not at all surprised because of Princess Peach, because apparently she's the only human in this world, and Mario's another human, but Toad doesn't seem too surprised by it, but it's whatever. So Toad, without hesitation, agrees to help Mario find his brother by taking him to Princess Peach, who he knows will help them take on Bowser and get Luigi back. And Luigi tries to survive the Dark Lands by running away from Dry Bones and like Shy Guys and such, but he ends up getting captured in the end. So we cut back to Mario. He helps he doesn't help. He goes into the castle. He talks to Princess Peach, and Princess Peach agrees to help him find Luigi after he proves himself, which he fails many times. But Princess Peach ends up taking him along anyway. So that's that. Then Bowser plans on taking over the Mushroom Kingdom and trying to have a royal wedding with Peach with the Power Star. And then the trio, yes, trio, because Toad's back with them now, with no hesitation, Peach immediately agrees to take him along with them, which I have a gripe about, but I will explain a little bit later. But then they get to the Donkey Kong, Kong Kingdom, and they go and meet Cranky Kong, who is the leader of the Kongs and whatnot, and he refuses to help Peach and Mario until Mario challenges him to a duel with his son, and if he wins, then they get the Kong army, and then this is where we meet Donkey Kong. I like the DK rap and all that in this intro too, and Donkey Kong looks good. He looks really good, and then the two of them fight. It doesn't really start off well with Mario, but he ends up making a comeback in the end, and then Cranky Kong agrees to help Princess Peach and Mario go take on Bowser, but they decide to make a shortcut to surprise Bowser and his army. But then one of his loyal servants, a Koopa with a blue shell, tells him that they're going to have a sneak attack, so Bowser does a sneak attack on them as they take the Rainbow Road to wherever exactly the road's going. I'm not really sure if the movie really explained where that Rainbow Road takes them. All I know is that it's a shortcut that Cranky Kong said would get around Bowser's army easily, to his place easily. So I'm guessing that's where it goes. But as they ride on the Rainbow Road, they get ambushed by Bowser's army, and it doesn't end well for them, as Mario and Donkey Kong get blown up by the one leader with the blue shell, who turns into a homing blue shell and bombs them and destroys the Rainbow Road track. So Peach heads back to the castle to warn everybody and confronts Bowser as he makes his way to the Mushroom Kingdom. And then Bowser tries to flirt with Peach, but of course it doesn't end up well, and then he forcefully tells Peach to marry him unless he otherwise he'll kill the Toads. I'm sorry, I'm starting. It's been a long, guys. Sorry, it's been a long while. I'm trying to keep it together. But yeah, Peach ends up deciding to marry Bowser, and then we cut back to Mario and Donkey Kong, who have been eaten by a giant eel, but end up escaping thanks to Donkey Kong's cart with the rocket barrel on it, like a little rocket barrel jetpack. And then they fly to the Mushroom Kingdom as the wedding starts. Peach ends up betraying Bowser and telling him to never marry a monster, so she ends up freezing him and then freezes the chains that are dropping the prisoners into the lava. And as Mario and Donkey Kong make their way through the Toad Town up to Bowser's castle, the chains are starting to thaw out, and the chains are lowering, and Mario ends up saving Luigi, who almost falls into lava. But then Bowser ends up breaking out of his ice prison and fires a bonsai bill onto Peach's castle. But Mario, with the raccoon soup still powered up, tries to stop the bonsai bill by leading it into a warp pipe that led to Mario's world. But then the bonsai bill explodes inside the warp pipe and ends up causing this dimensional rift that sucks in parts of the Mushroom Kingdom into Mario's world. And now the party is in Mario's world, with Bowser looking very ferocious and angry, and excuse me, sorry. And Mario tries to take the Power Star from Bowser, but Bowser is too quick. He's very powerful and ends up beating the crud out of Mario and calling him scared and whatnot. And Mario is scared at the moment, but then he finds the courage to get back up to take on Bowser head on. But then Peach knocks a shell at Kamek to knock the Power Star over to him. but Mario tries to reach it, but Bowser starts to shoot his flamethrower at him, and it almost hits Mario until Luigi comes in with the lid of a pipe, the lid of a sewer, like a metal lid sewer. I can't think straight up, sorry. But yeah, he blocks the flame, and then Mario grabs Luigi's hand, and they both take on the Power Star, and they end up destroying Bowser's army. Bowser himself too, in like a very epic Dragon Ball Z like sequence. And then the day is saved, and Bowser turns tiny, stuck in a jar, and the Mario Brothers end up living in the Mushroom Kingdom, and that's that. Yeah, I really was. I know it sounds like I was like skipping through most of it, but that's really what this movie has going for it with the story. Because this movie is very fast paced. It does not slow down. It's like we'll get into that later, but that's really just the story. There's not much to it. There's no death. There's no like, honestly, a real sense of danger in this movie, because like it's a Mario movie, and it's like they really kept things safe with this one. So I got not much to say about it. It's a decent simple Mario movie story, and it's like, I mean, I've got thoughts, I've got opinions on it, which we're about to get into, but let's talk about the good things like this about this movie. So right off the bat, this movie looks incredible. I love the art style. I loved how they mixed with a cartoony and realistic details with the movie. Like, I'm glad they didn't make the movie too cartoony, and kept a little bit of realism to it as well. But I also like they did make it a little bit cartoony too, to make it not too real, or make it seem out of place for the Mario series. And like, because I know a lot of people didn't really want to see Mario in like a real life setting, kind of like they did with Sonic. But I think Sonic kind of worked in the real setting, surprisingly. I kind of want to see Mario in a real setting, kind of, but I know it's gonna be hard to do that with Mario, because he's kind of a weird looking human. But like, I still wouldn't mind to see him in like a super live setting. It's just, it's a weird thing. It's hard to explain, but I just like the setting of this movie. I do love how this movie looks and how it's presented. It looks really, really nice. Hey there everybody, this is Hyper Mario. Sorry for that little cut. I had to stop the recording, and I previously did, and now I'm recording this on a different time and a different setting for reasons I will get into in a bit. But as you can tell, I got a new haircut. I hope you guys like it. I definitely love it. So let me continue where I left off. So I already talked about the visuals, so now I want to talk about the music. The music in this movie is fantastic. I love the references of past Mario music in this, and some new ones too. Now, I know there are some people that are pretty on and off with some of the music in this movie, because, like I said, some of the music is from old Mario games, but some of it is also from licensed music, and some people have very mixed opinions on it, but for me personally, I didn't mind it as much. I mean, there's some parts I didn't really find that fit in the movie, but there were some parts I did like. There was one part in particular where Mario and Peach were riding through the Donkey Kong City, the Kong City, and there was this music playing called if I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a take on me. I think that was the song name. But yeah, it plays during that sequence, and a funny thing about that sequence too, they originally they had like a remix for that scene that was like, I think, a Donkey Kong song for it, like from a Donkey Kong game, but they instead opted it for like licensed music. I don't know why that is, but I figured they probably would have gone with that instead of like using licensed music. Again, I don't get why they did that, but for the most part, I didn't mind the music. I actually pretty enjoyed it. I didn't think it fit too well with the scene, but I did enjoy the music regardless. I mean, it wasn't a bad music to put with the scene, but it did feel a little bit off, especially after hearing some of the music early in the movie that's from like Mario past games, especially the one where in Bowser's Lair, there's like a remix song of Bowser's Fury, and it's really good. I mean, it's not actually a remix. It's the same song from Bowser's Fury. They put it in the movie. They didn't really remix it, but I loved hearing it as a reference. It's really good. Yeah, most of the music in this movie is really good. The licensed music is okay. I didn't find it didn't really tear me away from my experience from the movie, but some of it was a little bit off-putting. And speaking of the music, there's one particular song I really want to talk about, and that's Donkey Kong's rap that they use to introduce DK when he's battling with Mario. Now, I loved that they brought this track back from Donkey Kong 64, because it's a really corny song, but it fits so well with DK, and how they used it to introduce Donkey Kong here, I thought it was superb. But the one thing I hate about this song is that they didn't credit Grant Kirkhope, who is the original composer of the song, in the credit sequence. Like, they credit every other composer for all the music they made, but for some reason, and I checked, I watched this movie like 1,000 times to see, and it's true, they didn't credit Grant Kirkhope. If you look up the song in the credits, all it says is from Donkey Kong 64, and to me, that's like, that flipping sucks, man. It's like if somebody uses your art and they don't credit you, that's like stealing. It's like, because it sucks, because Grant Kirkhope made that song, and they didn't even bother to credit him. They took it as just like from another game. It's by Nintendo, but Nintendo didn't make the song. Grant Kirkhope did. So that kind of sucks. I didn't really like that they did that to him, and I saw his tweet too, man. I felt bad for the man. I don't know if they changed it for like the eventual DVD release of the movie, which I doubt they did, but that sucks, man. If they're going to do this again, like add more music from other games besides like Mario, they need to credit these composers, because Grant Kirkhope made the song. Moving on from that, the music was good regardless, and I really did enjoy like the voice acting too. And the voice acting for this movie was pretty good. Like I said, let me talk about Chris Pratt for a second. Now, I know a lot of people, when they first heard who was going to be voicing Mario for this movie, they were pretty mixed, and some of them flipping hated it. In fact, some of them even made fun of Chris Pratt on Twitter a lot for his voice acting. It's now, for me personally, when I heard him voicing Mario, like for the trailers, I was a bit skeptical, like most people were. I guess it was kind of off-putting to hear someone like Chris Pratt voice Mario when he didn't sound like Mario at all. In fact, I was with a lot of people with the question of asking, like, why didn't they put Charles Martinet in this? It's the same question I had with the Sonic movie too. Like, why didn't they brought Roger Craig Smith to voice Sonic? But in the same case with the Sonic movie, like, I thought Chris Pratt did a pretty good job. Like, he wasn't like super amazing, like, or anything like that, but he did a decent job. Like, I watched the rest of the movie, and I thought he delivered pretty good as Mario. Again, nothing amazing, but he was alright. Charlie Day as Luigi was pretty good as well. There were some times I thought his voice was a little bit off, but he still played a good Luigi, him with Luigi being scared and all. I really digged it. And Taylor was an awesome Peach too. I really digged her voice acting. Jack Black as Bowser was the real highlight of this movie, because he flipping killed it with Bowser, especially in his like solo song of Peaches. Man, I think that was the highlight of the movie for me, because seeing Bowser sing Peaches while playing the piano, which Bowser could play the piano for the record, that's never seen in any Mario game, and or till now, or Mario Media, so he could just play the piano. But it's cool. I dig it. It's like, and Bowser can definitely sing, man. And Jack Black really killed as Bowser, and I have no doubt he'll be back as Bowser for the sequel. Which by the time this video comes out, they already announced the sequel. Which again, I'll get into why this video came out so late near the end of the video, but. Yeah, Jack Black, awesome Bowser. The Toad, I think Keegan-Michael Key was the name. I found him to be a pretty good Toad. Again, it's his voice. It just sounded a little off to me. I guess Toad's voice always sounds off to me with his high crackling and such. Because, you know, in past N64 games, Toad had this, like, kind of calming voice, almost childlike. But then, as years go by, he gets this loud, like, screeching kind of voice, like high-pitched voice. It's weird how they changed his voice over the years, but Keegan did a good job as Toad. I did like some of his voice acting in here. My two kind of critiques of actors was what was it? Oh yeah, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and I can't remember the other dude's name who voiced Cranky Kong. I just forgot the name. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. He was kind of He just kind of sounded like Seth Rogen voicing Donkey Kong. He didn't really have any like ranged or like. He didn't sound like he didn't sound like he was trying to impersonate Donkey Kong's voice. He just sounded like he was just reading from a script. I could hear like his Seth Rogen's voice. It didn't really sound like he was trying to impersonate Donkey Kong as like Donkey Kong's voice, if you get what I mean. It was okay. It wasn't bad acting, but bad voice acting, but it was just mad to me. Now Cranky Kong, on the other hand, I really didn't like his voice. I'm sorry. No offense to the voice actor for him. I can't remember his name, but he was pretty forgettable to me. I mean, I guess he served his role as Cranky Kong as an old cranky, monkey, but I don't know. I feel like they could have found a better role for him. His voice just sounds like he's reading from the script, especially that part where he goes like, "What makes you think that you are able to stand the greatest Kong in the world?" Or something like that. It really sounded like he was just reading from the script with like no range to his voice at all. It's just, I hope if Cranky Kong does come back in like the sequel, I really hope they find new voice actor for him, because I'm sorry, but he was not it. Oh no, though, the voice acting was really good. I really did enjoy it. The movie did serve its job with the actors did a pretty good job. All in all, it was a pretty solid movie. And I love the references, of course. The references to the movies were good. There was a lot of it, but I think it's about time I get into the bad stuff that I didn't like about this movie. So, first things first, the number one thing that I hate about this movie is its pacing. It's so god darn fast. It goes way too fast just to keep things moving along. I really wish they would slow things down a bit, because things just go way too fast. Stuff is happening like all the time. It's just like we can't like settle down to like these settings and whatnot. Like with Mario's family, well, they're like, we see their family, but we don't really get to know them. Like there are some people in that a table area. I was like, who are those people? Like I could tell Mario's mom and Mario's dad, which I didn't realize that he was voiced by Charles Martinet. That caught me off guard. But there's these other two over there. Like I don't know if that's their like uncles or aunts or something like that. Like who are those people? Like they didn't really introduce them or anything like that. And it's just like, it's like that for the rest of the movie. It's just like we go see Toad Town, but we don't really spend enough time in it to like really soak it in. Like we're moving to another place just to keep things moving along. It has great looking places, but I wish it just slowed down so we can like, see the sights, like take it in. You know what I'm saying? But no, this movie just wants to keep going. so it can finish off with with the finale, I guess. And I don't like that about movies sometimes. I just wish they slowed things down so we could soak in all the cool scenery, the cool characters, the cool references, you know what I mean? And then there's like the story. I talked about it, but I wish the story was a little bit better. I know it's a Mario movie, and I know Mario isn't really known for having deep, compelling stories. But for a franchise that is getting an animated movie ever since the disastrous Super Mario Bros. Movie, I was kind of hoping to get a good story from it, you know? I mean, the story isn't bad, it's just nothing to write home about because it goes by so fast that it makes subplots in the movie, but we never really finish those subplots. It just forgets about it and moves on. And I don't really like that. Like I'll give an example. Like, there's this one subplot with Mario's dad where Mario's dad just like thinks Mario is just he's nuts, that he's doing a stupid thing by leaving his job and starting his own business, and he thinks he's dragging down Luigi with him. And Mario just feels like he's so small. He feels like he wishes he could, you know, prove to his dad that, you know, he can do something on his own, you know what I'm saying? Without feeling so small or incapable of something like that. But the movie just completely forgets it. Like, they bring it up like one time in a scene with him and Donkey Kong, but that's just it. It's never really resolved, and it's stuff like that in this movie that makes me wish that they slow things down, you know what I mean? And there's also and there's also like this thing where I kind of hate some sequences with him and Mario and Peach. Like with Mario and Peach, like their relationship goes like way too fast. Because of like Mario just runs into her, he meets her, and then Peach then suddenly decides to like help train him and whatnot, and then like their relationship just doesn't really develop. It just goes on. And there's this one scene that I kind of irked me when I watched it so many times. There's this scene where Princess Peach brings Mario to go to the Kong Kingdom, and he's talking to the Toads, and she's talking to the Toads, telling them that they're going to bring down Bowser's army. But when one Toad asks who is Mario that's next to her, she says, "He's not important." And admittedly, that did make me laugh for a bit. But then as the movie goes on, Peach and Mario are walking down, and Toad suddenly comes out of nowhere, and Peach suddenly sees that this Toad is different from the other Toads, and just immediately decides to bring with him because of that. Like, you train Mario so you can see if he's capable of handling his journey, but you don't question Toad, like a random Toad you just met, just because he's brave. Mario's brave, yet he still had to prove himself, yet Toad doesn't. Like, what the heck? And then there's this another scene where Peach heads back to the castle because the Rainbow Road is crushed, and she tells everyone that that we lost the Kong army and Mario is gone, and everybody's shocked by that. But why the heck are they shocked about that? They don't even know who Mario is. She didn't even introduce them to him. She never said his name to them or anything. And she told him he's not important. So why the heck are the Toads like gasping about Mario's death? It's just stuff like that irked me every time I watch this movie so many times, so I can like process of what I want to say about it. Because it's stuff like that really irks me about this movie. And, you know, again, it's the pacing and whatnot I didn't like about that. And, like, what else didn't I like about it? I guess that's pretty much it. I can't really think of anything else that really bothers me more in this movie. There's this one gripe, though. I was kind of upset that, like, Pauline didn't make oh, no, there's actually another thing, but I'll get into it in a bit. At the end of the fight, I was kind of upset when the crowd was cheering that Pauline didn't really show up in the end to like clap for Mario and Luigi or anything like that. Like, she's the mayor of the town and it just got destroyed. Like, where is she? Why isn't she clapping for the Mario Bros? They just saved it. And that's another thing too, that final scene where Bowser's castle suddenly appears in the real world and it destroys a bunch of buildings and like a city and stuff. Like, I'm surprised that the people weren't more shocked of like the destruction of the place. They're suddenly just cheering and whatnot. And they're not freaked out that like a giant gorilla with a bow tie or a giant turtle or a walking mushroom fungus with pants is here. And I'm surprised they're not really angry that that giant freaking castle just crushed thousands of buildings, which, may I remind you, may have had people inside them. There could have been people in those buildings, and so many people might have died, and they're just not. They just completely ignore that. Like, Bowser's castle literally crushed and destroyed a city block that could have been inhabited with people, nonetheless, and they're just forgetting about that scene. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's my adult mind thinking like that. I know kids are gonna eat this movie up. That is without a doubt. That is without a doubt that kids are gonna love this, without a doubt. And I did enjoy it too. I really did. I can't say though that I love the movie. Like, I've watched it so many times, and my attention span for it is really starting to degrade the more I watch it. It may be because I may be sick of the movie because I watched it so many times so I can get my points across, but I just know it's not a perfect movie. I like the movie, I really do. It's a Mario movie. It's fun. It's got a lot of Mario references in it that I enjoy seeing and whatnot. But it goes by so fast. Nothing really sets in, and there's no time to like let things develop. You know what I mean? Let the people take in what they're seeing on the film. But it just goes by too fast for its own good, just so it can get to the point, and so people, I guess, don't get tired or whatnot. I don't understand why some movies have to go by so fast just to get to the point. I really think movies should take their time or so we can know more about Mario's world, the people in it, how Peach is different from the game Peach, how Mario is different from game Mario. You know what I mean? I just hope for the next sequel that is definitely confirmed by the time of this video, that I really, really hope they slow things down. And I hope that, if they use old music again, that they freaking credit them too for Grant Kirkhope if they're using more of his music for the next movie. But yeah, that's my one criticism. I really hope that they slow things down for the next Mario movie and take some chances with it too. Try to develop like a really deep story for this new Mario universe, because I know for Mario, these days, you're not really expecting a deep, compelling story from him, and I get that. But when it's on a movie, when Mario has a movie and it's on the big screen, it's not a video game, I'm expecting to see like a good story, a story that I'm engaged into, that I'm having fun with, and I want to know more about this world that they're showing to me. But I don't think this movie does that well. It's like a roller coaster ride, and once it stops, you may want more of it, but well, maybe I should compare it as a roller coaster. I said this before. I kind of want to compare it to like a sugar rush. It feels good at first, but once it ends, you'll start feeling like crash. Like, it kind of leaves you wanting more. You know what I'm saying? Which, sugar rush is bad. Don't go on a sugar rush. But you guys know what I mean. Bottom line is, this movie is a fun time, and if you're a Mario fan, you're definitely gonna like this movie. But you definitely need to like set your expectations. Don't go into it expecting a deep story from this, because there's none. I just hope for the next Mario movie, again, they slow things down, take their time with the movie, especially with the pacing and all that, and really develop a good, not just a good Mario movie, but a good Mario story too, because I think Mario can have deep, compelling stories. I'm not saying he has to have like super dark or serious tone stories, but you know, just a story that a lot of people are invested in, and I think Mario can have deep, compelling stories. Shoot, if Sonic can, then why can't Mario, you know? I know they're different franchises, but come on, a 6-foot blue hedgehog and shoes can have deep, compelling stories, and why can't a plumber with his brother, you know what I'm saying? And speaking of that, I really hope like Luigi is more involved with Mario in the story in the next sequel, because that was another gripe I didn't really mention for this movie. I kind of wish that the story was like a Mario Luigi story and not just a Mario solo story. And I kind of wish that for this movie it was like Mario and Luigi suddenly appear in the Mushroom Kingdom, but they aren't separated, and they go meet Princess Peach, but they meet her, and Bowser suddenly appears. She gets kidnapped. I kind of wish it was like that. Now I know some people are probably sick of the whole kidnap dynamic, but I kind of think it would have worked for this movie. So we can have like Mario Brothers trying to learn about the Mushroom Kingdom and trying to like better their relationship. Like they when Peach gets kidnapped, she and Mario and Luigi are traveling to learn about this world and save her. They kind of have some deep relationship complications with each other, because you know, like Mario's always like the big shot. You know they have a own company named after him. Which, speaking of which, I'm kind of surprised they didn't go into like Mario's last name origins, like, because you know, Mario and Luigi Mario. So I'm surprised the movie didn't go into that, but I guess they didn't want to delve into that craziness because the movie's already crazy enough as it is. But yeah, something like that. I kind of wanted to see with this movie, like Mario and Luigi having a brotherly bond, but as they're traveling, you know, they conflict with each other. Of how Mario's like always the big shot and Luigi's always sick bananas, and they kind of have a fit. But suddenly in the end, they learn that they need each other to be the Mario Brothers, and they work together to stop Bowser and save Peach and the world and such. That's kind of what I was hoping to see from this movie. Maybe they'll do that in the sequel, I don't know, but I felt like that would have been a good plot than what we got for this movie, since, you know, it's not only I think a good plot, but I think it would help like develop character in this movie a lot better, you know, have better character arcs, you know, because there's none in this movie. There's no freaking character arcs in this movie. Okay, so all in all, I did enjoy the movie, but it's definitely not a perfect movie. Do not let anybody tell you that this is a perfect movie, because it's not. Maybe to them it's a perfect movie, but in reality it's really not. And I'm hoping for the sequel that they do improve from what mistakes they made in the movie, because there's definitely room for improvement. But overall, this movie is still a fun time for Mario fans alike, and for kids, especially kids. And I do recommend you giving it a shot if you still haven't watched it to this day, because it's a Mario movie, you know? And we're getting another sequel too, so that's great. So I can't wait to see what more is in store for this movie franchise. So I just hope it's great, and I hope in the sequel we get to see Wario and Rosalina and many other Mario characters. So who knows? Only time will tell. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video and sticking to the end. This is a little bit of a different segue, and it's going to be an explanation of why this video took ages to come out and why I haven't said anything in the community tabs lately. As you guys can tell, my last community tab post was about Valentine's Day, and I said that I would be working on the video and coming out as soon as possible, but it never did. So why is that? Well, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This is pretty tough for me to say, but after I posted that community post, I was working a lot the past couple of weeks in the months in February and like March, because my hours have been bumped up, which is a good thing. It really is. But the thing is, when I was working a lot, it kind of drained me that I never thought it would, and because of that, I started to feel numb about working on the video. And as the days went by, it started to get even worse. Like, I kept actively trying to avoid working on this because I just didn't feel, my mind kept telling me that I don't want to do this. I don't want to work on this video. It's too like distressing. It's too frustrating that I have to record and edit and make sure it's good and whatnot while working and such, just to make people happy. Like, I know that sounds really bad. Those thoughts were just going in my head, and I don't want you guys to take this the wrong way. You guys, I love you guys to death, and I love putting out videos for you guys. It's just that when I was working a lot and I kept telling myself I gotta work on this video so I don't make them wait as long, it just kept getting into my mind, like, and my mind kept telling me don't work on it, do something else, and it just kept winning because on my work schedule, I work to 2 to 11, and that's a long like 8 hours, because when I get off work, sometimes I mostly have to ride my bike back home, and that can be tiring, especially with how fast I ride. And I guess because of how much I've been working the past couple months, and with the biking and such, it really drained me, because when I get home, I feel like I have to start making the video, and it's like I can't have any time for myself, like play games like I usually love doing or such, or making art, because I do work on 3D models and such and make art, as you guys can see in some of my community posts. But when it comes to editing, I guess to me it feels a lot more stressful, because making a video is really tough, guys. Like, it really is, especially if you want to like make it really good, which I always do. I always want to put my best in my videos, but I guess I always wanted to make them good so you guys will like it and not like it doesn't waste your time, because you know, it's like some of my videos are dumb, and I really want to entertain people, make them laugh, and make them really want to watch the next one. So I guess it's because of that I guess I pressured myself into wanting me to get this video done as soon as possible, which I guess took a toll on my mental health a bit, and it made me not want to work on a video anymore. I almost just wanted to say completely forget it, like I'm not doing it, because it doesn't feel good to me anymore. I feel like I'm not having fun making videos anymore, or talking to you guys. So it took a lot out of me to like get back into this, and I started to feel like excited again for some reason. I don't know what it is, but I started to feel excited about working on a video again, and it's just like, I don't know why. I guess it was because of the hours I was working with my job and such. And since YouTube isn't my job, I always wanted to be like a fun hobby. But I guess with working with a job and riding the bike down, because in my job I have to walk a lot, which I love moving, don't get me wrong, but even I get tired sometimes. As unbelievable as that scene with my name being Hyper and such. But yeah, sometimes I just need a breather. And I guess when it came to video making, I felt like it took a toll on me because I kind of felt like I was working again, which I don't want that. I don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to feel like I'm working even when I just got off work. I want video making to be fun, and unfortunately that's how I felt the past few months, and I just started to ignore my project, like this video. And I'm really sorry, you guys. I didn't mean for you to wait that long. I did say in my update video that I wasn't going to be consistent, but I did not mean to make you guys wait that long for a video like this. The series is supposed to be easy for me to make, but I guess with work and such, I just didn't want to do it anymore. I started to feel like I didn't want to do it anymore, but I suddenly got the urge to got back into it, and I'm starting to like getting back into it. So it's just like, I guess it's taking me time to get adjusted to like the hours and everything, and how I need to manage my time better, because I'm not just doing videos, I'm making art, as I said before. But making art is a lot more funner than doing videos, I will say, because like I don't have to worry about like a script or editing, or like what kind of music I want to use for the background and such, and making sure I don't say stupid things to strangers around the world. This is you guys, but it's just, I guess it's that thought process that made me not want to do videos anymore. It almost made me think about quitting and such, which, don't worry, I'm not gonna do that. But I guess I really just needed to find a way to get myself back into it, and I have. And it's that part of my thinking is still in there, I'm not gonna lie, but the fun part is starting to grow back in. I guess it's just because of work and such. I guess just thinking about everything I need to do in one day, but I don't have the time because I'm always working. Because again, most of my time I'm spent at home, and it's just, no, not at home, spent at work and such. And when I get home around 11, I'm so tired, but I want to work on the video, but it's just like, nah, I'll do it later, and then I'll go to sleep because I gotta work tomorrow. And it's like, because of that process, I kept putting it off, and it started to get worse and worse, and I was just completely ignoring it. So, bottom line, guys, it's really my fault for making you guys wait for a video like this, and I do apologize. I did not mean to make you guys wait so long for this, and I'm hoping I don't make you guys wait long for the next one. I'm not sure if it's going to be a topic video or another Hyper Talks, but I'll let you guys know once I decide. But I just know that I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm not. I'm just like making sure to take the time to make sure my head is in the right place, making sure that I actually want to do this, that I didn't spend all this money to get this new laptop, gaming laptop, this expensive new camera and mic for nothing, just so I can like satisfy people, so I don't disappoint them, meet their expectations such. I want to make sure I'm doing this because I'm having fun doing it. Because I love meeting new people like you guys that have stuck around for so long. Which, by the way, I don't know why, I for some reason during my absence I've gained subscribers, which I do not understand. How am I getting subscribers when I'm not doing anything? I haven't been doing anything for the past months. But to those new subscribers, I do appreciate you guys, and I hope I can, entertain you, and I hope you have fun with this channel. So I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. I'm not going to keep you guys any longer because this video is long enough as is with my stupid rambling. But just want to let you guys know I'm deeply sorry. I really am, and I will definitely do my best to make sure I don't crash myself into wanting to quit doing this, and make sure just to take my time and have fun with it. But I don't want to make you guys wait that long for this video again. Maybe for a topic video, but not a video like this. I'm really sorry. So wish me the best of luck, guys. I'm gonna try and get back into this swing of things. I know this year started off really rocky, but hey, there's still plenty more of the year to come, and you know, I'm hoping I can deliver. So with all that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Tell me what your thoughts are of the Super Mario Brothers movie, and until next time, guys, I hope you all have a fantastic rotten day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. So remember to stay safe out there, and as always, peace.